Thank you so much for making us a part of your time. The news is live on DSTV channel 279. We're also on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. The battle line have been drawn. The President, Vice President and Chief of Staff have all joined the NPP campaign trail in the Ejiso constituency ahead of Tuesday's by-election. William Evans' income report accusation and counter-accusation have been the order of the day.
This street leads to Onye, the hometown of the NPP parliamentary candidates, and it's been one of the battlegrounds for the two leading candidates. That is Lawyer Kwabena Boateng of the NPP and Kwabena Owusu Aduomi, an independent candidate. But the former member of parliament for Ejiso constituency, Akwesi Oseje, has taken a swipe at the independent candidate, a three-time member of parliament for Ejiso constituency.
When he came that he is going to stand against us as an independent candidate, number one, I was not surprised. I was not shocked because I knew from day one that that gentleman is not a member of our party, so to speak, our tradition.
Not mind him. Not mind him. When I was the regional highway director in Ashanti region, I brought him money for the party. I brought him money since 1992. I have sponsored, I have financed MPP party in this constituency.
Then came the vice president, who also accused the independent candidate of flirting with the opposition NDC.
Utuma independent NDC na umutuma elinti na NDC omwa candidate ambano omuta independent neki.
No, I don't want to insult him. He's a vice president, but it's neither here nor there. A vote for me is a vote for NDC. In what way? Let MPP learn one thing. I'm showing them one thing, that when there is an issue in the party, issue that goes contrary, to the guidelines and regulations of the party, they should sit down and solve it.
The president, he will talk about road and Aduomi's role in bringing road development in the Ejiso constituency. Now, this is the president's rebuttal.
Oh, don't mind him. What benefit did I get from rigging a party? We are saying that there are plans for them to rig the elections. Now, we are saying this because they have known that Aduomi is very strong on the ground.
William Evans, TV3 News, Ejiso, the Ashanti region.
Flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu, officially kicks off his campaign today ahead of the December 7 polls. The sitting vice president is expected to visit all 16 regions within a month in an attempt to convince Ghanaians to vote for him.
The two major political parties, the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress, have both selected their flag bearers for the December 7 polls. The election will be Ghana's 9th successive general election since the return to democratic rule in 1993. While the NDC officially outdoored its running mate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, on Wednesday, April 24th, to complete their ticket, the NPP is yet to announce a running mate to Dr. Bawumia. Expectations are that the flag bearer, after consultation, will in the next few days announce who he will be partnering. Ahead of that, NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is slated to begin his first nationwide tour on Monday, April 29th, 2024. The campaign team is promising an issue-based campaign that will focus on cogent, practical and tailor-made ideas to deal with issues dear to the Ghanaian people. The tour, which will begin in the Eastern region, will see Dr. Bawumia visit all 16 regions over the next month in this first round of campaigning. Meanwhile, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, recently concluded his Building Ghana tour. During the tour of the Northeast region, John Mahama outlined the next steps towards the December 7 polls.
Sometime in June or July, we will launch the official campaign for the 2024 election. And then in July, we would outdoor the manifesto. And so all these consultations we've done in all the 16 regions, they're going to reflect in our manifesto, and we'll launch the manifesto officially in July. And after that, I'm going to come to every constituency in Ghana and come and spend time with you on the campaign trail. That one, when we come, we're talking full politics, only politics. I am certain that by the grace of God, inshallah, NDC will emerge victorious on 7th December 2024.
The next few days and weeks will see an intense battle for the hearts and minds of electorates as the New Patriotic Party prepares to, in their own words, break the eight. The main opposition National Democratic Congress, on the other hand, is readying to win back political power after 80 years in opposition. Will it be the first time an incumbent Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu, wins power? Or will it be the first time a former president, John Dramani Mahama, is re-elected into office? Only time will tell.
Only time will tell indeed. Meanwhile, Director of Communications for Dr. Bawumia campaign, Dennis Miracles Abuaji, says the December elections will solely be a contest of ideas and records against that of the NDC's John Mahama.
The next set of leadership for this country should be based on three key issues. The most important one is the battle of ideas and character. You first of all need to understand where we are as a country and tell us what you propose as a solution to what you believe we find ourselves in. And so the superior ideas, the superior policies should win in the next elections. Most importantly is the leader, the credibility of the leader, the integrity of the leader, the assurance that the leader gives the people, your work ethics, your performance, your level of decisiveness, your self-discipline. It's crucial. It's crucial because there's a big difference between what you say and what you do. Fortunately for us as a country, we are confronted with two leading candidates who we've all seen their delivery in terms of leadership of this country. Our biggest opponent from the NDC has been a vice president and a president before. Of course, we are not going to pretend that he has nothing to show. He has to show his scorecard. And we are going to appraise him based on what he did when we gave him an opportunity to be vice president and to be president. In the same way, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is also going to account to the people of Ghana his stewardship as a vice president and what he envisages for the future of this country.
Flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, has hit hard on President Kufuor over his recent comment that he cannot have him as his successor, the man he defeated. Reacting to the president's comment, the NDC candidate reminded President Kufuor that it is only God who makes and chooses leaders.
I wish to urge our president that the best legacy he can leave this country is to superintend over a peaceful, transparent, and credible election. I wish to remind him that it is God who makes rulers, and he can never ever be the one to choose his successor. I can assure you all that as leader of the biggest minority party in this country, we shall do our part to ensure peaceful elections.
Let's focus on the EC now. The Electoral Commission has rejected allegations of sneaking out thousands of biometric verification devices, BVDs, for recycling and causing financial loss to the state. In a statement dated Friday, April 26, 2024, the Commission said such statements are not only false, but are designed to mislead the public and cause dissatisfaction for the institution and its leadership. The Electoral Commission, the EC, emphasized that the Commission spent $68 million for 2 data centers and procured over 74,000 BVDs as well as 8,500 biometric voter registration kits, BVRs, instead of the alleged $150 million. Addressing concerns about the allegations of improper disposal of devices at a loss to the state, the Commission emphasized that the auction was conducted transparently. The proceeds from the auction was duly deposited into the consolidated fund as per their statement. Away from that, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, says it will advise itself on its next line of action if government and the ECG fail to publish a load-shedding timetable for its members to plan their businesses effectively. The association bemoaned the negative impact of doing so on the entire economy as it hinders productivity. They say the erratic power supply has made cost of doing business unbearable. Meanwhile, several calls for the Public Utility Regulatory Commission for ECG to release a load management schedule have yielded no positive results, as GUTA says time is ticking for the ECG.
We are a pressure group, and that's what we say. And governance is about collaboration. And we believe as stakeholders, we have to make an input into whatever goes on in the country. So this is the first step that we've taken. We will go to all the stakeholders, those who matters. ECG will confront them and find out what's the risk situation on the ground. Is it as a result that there's no money to buy fuel? Is it as a result of repairs? If you are repairing, which area are you? You know, abroad, when you are coming to do a repair, you have to give a notice, a 3 days notice that I'm coming to this area to do repairs. ECG could have done the same to us. That today we are coming to Abosoka to do repairs. Therefore, you might not get your life. We are coming to Kantama to do repairs. Is it fuel issue? Is it a repairs issue? So government should come clear, and ECG must come clear, so that the general public can appreciate, know where the challenges are.
As a meeting between the Transport Ministry and the transport unions on charging new fares remains inconclusive, some commercial drivers have been charging unapproved new fares. This is creating altercations between passengers and conductors. Emmanuel Samani has been sampling the views of drivers on the unapproved charges and the impact on commuters.
In light of recent developments in the transport sector, tensions have flared between commercial drivers and commuters due to unapproved fare hikes. Some drivers voiced their grievances, attributing the unapproved fare increase to the soaring price of fuel and spare parts. They contend that these rising operational costs eat into their profits, leaving them with little choice but to adjust fares accordingly.
The fuel prices keep increasing. We do sales for our car owners as well. Some car owners even expect more sales as soon as they heard of the price increase. So we can't wait for GPRTU to approve the fare hikes. It's like we are working just to afford petrol and for the car owners.
Not too much, only 50 pesos, but we have been arguing with the passengers and the drivers. And we get patience for the passenger. Without them, we can't move.
This job is dependent on fuel and sales. And so when fuel prices go up, drivers suffer without the price increase.
Conversely, commuters have expressed their distress over the sudden surge in transport expenses. Many find themselves grappling with the need to allocate more of their budget to transportation, consequently straining their finances.
It was 8 cedis, but now I just heard it's 10 cedis. I mean, it's more than what's supposed to be. So I don't know, the government should sit down with them, and maybe if there will be any negotiation in the transport, they should reduce it a bit for us.
If you are going to work in Accra here, everything depends on transport. So this one, I feel like they would have decreases for us. So if they decrease it, it will help all of us. And because the economy is hard.
As the drift between riders and commuters widens, there is a growing urgency for stakeholders to address these concerns and find a sustainable solution that ensures fair and affordable transportation for all parties involved. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News, Accra.
The former executive director of the Peasant Farmers Association, Dr. Charles Enyaba, urged government to invest in the construction of irrigation dams such as Palugu Multipurpose Dam to improve agricultural production in the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot do that without commitment from our policymakers in ensuring comprehensive policies and initiatives that prioritize agricultural investment, modernization of agriculture, and the welfare of our farmers. The minister's rep, one cannot do meaningful farming today by just relying on rainfall. Across the globe, irrigation is being prioritized as a key catalyst for agricultural development. We plead with government and all political parties here to reinvigorate interest in constructing the portable multipurpose dam, re-engineering and desilting all silted dams, including the One Village, One Dam, and supporting our youth in the region with boreholes, which we now call it, the political parties here can pay us to adopt one borehole, one household in the next coming years to ensure that our farmers continue, our farmers and the youth, the women continue to do farming in the dry season.
Away from that, the lives of fire service personnel are at risk due to inadequate and faulty firefighting equipment. Some personnel recently were injured in line of duty in Accra. My colleague Joseph Armstrong visited some fire stations in the capital, Accra, and reports many of the fire tenders at the various stations are not functional.
We were just there when the building, we didn't hear anything. We were on the ground.
Joshua Kankam is a 28-year-old fireman. He has been in the fire service for 4 years. Joshua is currently battling for his life after a building collapsed on him, along with 3 other colleagues, while dousing an inferno at Westland in West Legon on Wednesday, January 24 this year.
I can't even straighten it.
You can't straighten it?
I can't. So, it was stone.
Joshua recounts his harrowing experience, emphasizing that without their helmet, he and his colleagues might not have survived.
First week I was discharged. Like, if you picture the scene, like you just be there and be crying. Like, why did this happen to you? The doctors are saying that right now the wound is healing slowly, so they are recommending skin grafting.
This incident underscores the hazards faced by firefighters whenever duty calls.
In our case, our helmets, the straps were torn. Wearing the helmet, then just comes off. You can't focus on fighting the fire. So every 1 minute you have to be holding the helmet. So it's just uncomfortable. So, and looking at the situation, no one expected the building to collapse. So when we went, then looking at the situation, then I called for the helmet, that we should just wear the helmet just in case.
Unfortunately, the plight of personnel in the Ghana National Fire Service seems to have been largely ignored. A visit to several fire stations in the capital revealed that many fire tenders are non-functional. At the fire service headquarters, 2 out of 3 fire tenders were faulty. The fire tender in Medina was also out of commission, leaving the Adenta fire station as the only one with a working tender along the route from Medina to Ebri through to Dodowa. Legon's fire tender was also out of commission. The fire tender station at Parliament House has been relocated to Abelemkpe, leaving several key areas including Parliament House, the Conference Center, Accra Sports Stadium, and Independence Square without fire coverage. Additionally, the Fire Service National Training School lacks a fire tender and an ambulance, similar to other fire stations visited. The few operational fire tenders are aged, with some showing signs of rust. At the Greater Accra Regional Office, all fire tenders were out of commission during our visit, although some were being worked on by local mechanics. Safety gear, such as safety boots and breathing apparatus, are insufficient. The Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, Assistant Chief Fire Officer Timothy Osafo Efum, explained why some fire stations are without fire tenders.
All the stations are fire tenders, but the fact on the ground is that they are old, so they break down frequently. But as and when they break down, they are repaired. I must also indicate that because they are old, it depends on the part that is out of service. It may take some time before they are restored.
He expressed hope that new ones would be acquired.
Government has stepped in to provide us with fire tenders. And as at the last time I checked, it was at a value for money auditing.
A former chief fire officer, Dr. Albert Brown-Gazy, emphasized the urgent need for more attention to be given to the National Fire Service.
I would wish that some further attention is focused on the welfare of the firemen. At the time that I was leaving office, most of the metropolitan municipal fire stations did not have vehicles.
In 2023, a total of 5,219 fire cases were recorded nationwide, highlighting the pressing need to equip the National Fire Service adequately. Joseph Armstrong, Gold Alogbe, TV3, Accra.
Thank you so much for making me a part of your time this morning. That is how we end the news. For more news updates, you can log on to 3news.com. But the show continues shortly with Ace broadcaster Roland Walker and Nashiko. We have more for you. Stay with us. See you soon.